Hey guys, Jared here, and today we're going to take a look at breathing some new life into a laptop that's almost a decade old on a budget. I bought this Dell laptop for uni in early 2008. At the time it was great and had awesome specs. Now it weighs a ton and struggles to perform basic tasks. Honestly, I'm not too sure what to do with it, as I haven't used it in years, and have no real use for it as it's simply far too outdated for me. I was considering donating it, however it feels like a crime to even give something away that performs so terribly. So let's see what we can do to speed it up and improve it. First, let's establish a baseline so we can measure the difference our changes make later. For this test, I've installed a fresh copy of Windows 10. As you can see here, it takes 1 minute and 33 seconds to fully boot into Windows 10, open up Firefox, and load my YouTube channel page. This is far from being a perfect test. There are many variables, such as how fast I'm able to log in and open Firefox. It is, however, as real-world as I can get, and I tried my best to do the tasks as fast as I could to reduce those variables as much as possible. As you may have suspected, the ancient laptop is running an old spinning rust hard drive. It's a 320GB disk from 2007 that runs at 5,400 RPM, ouch. This is definitely a bottleneck in the system, so let's replace it. I happen to have a 6-year-old spare 60GB OCZ Vertex 2 SSD laying around, which is by no means new. I can assure you it's seen a lot of use over the years, and I'm honestly not sure how it's still going given the high failure rate that these things had. So I'll get to work on taking out the old drive and installing the new. Brand new SSDs of this size can be picked up from Amazon for a little over $30 that are much faster and of higher quality than this one. I'll leave a link in the video description if you're interested. These sorts of SSDs offer great value and are a fairly cheap upgrade. For just $30 we can breathe fresh life into an otherwise poorly performing machine. Also keep in mind that this will depend on the type of laptop you have. I'd suggest checking in advance if it has removable components that can be upgraded before buying any new hardware. Alright, now that we've got our SSD installed with the same operating system and programs installed, let's run the test again. I also want to note that both tests were performed with clean installs of Windows 10, which were fully up to date at the time of recording, and with the same version of Firefox, which was also fully up to date. With the SSD, the test completes 2.4 times faster. Yeah, that's an alright improvement, I hear you say. But what more can we do? Unfortunately, changing out the CPU isn't an option in this laptop, and upgrading the RAM will likely help very little. Windows is by no means a light operating system, so what if we installed Linux instead? Given the low-powered hardware we're dealing with here, I was interested to perform the same test, except booting into a Linux-based operating system rather than Windows to see if this gives us any further speed increases. I've used a full desktop installation of FEDORA Linux to perform the same test. With the spinning rust hard drive, it took 1 minute and 59 seconds to fully boot up and load the browser, so 26 seconds longer than under Windows. With the SSD, the test completed in 42 seconds, so 4 seconds longer than the same test under Windows 10. So although the improvement with the SSD was 2.8 times faster than the spinning rust disk, which is a larger improvement than we saw with Windows, overall both times were slower than compared with the tests under Windows 10. To be honest, I was a little surprised by this. I expected Linux to perform a little better, however this was not the case here. Of course, there are lighter weight Linux operating systems out there that would likely perform faster than Windows. However, I chose FEDORA as it's a pretty widely used Linux desktop operating system. Plus, I'm personally more familiar with Red Hat-based distributions. Perhaps I could investigate this further in an operating system comparison video. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. So in conclusion, for around $30, we've turned a laptop that was basically unusable by today's standards into something capable of actually performing real tasks again within a more acceptable time frame. While Windows performed the test faster, with the SSD, Linux wasn't too far behind. And in both cases, the SSD performed more than twice as fast. As more and more apps are becoming web-based, we can start to rely on desktop apps that are tied to a specific operating system less and less. As for games, while there are lots of games in Steam available for Linux, this laptop doesn't exactly have the best GPU, so I've left gaming tests out of this. With this simple and cheap SSD upgrade, you can easily speed up an old laptop on the cheap. It's one of the best bang-for-buck methods of increasing performance with old hardware. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have had any success upgrading old hardware like this. If you found the information in the video useful, be sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for future tech videos like this one.